pilot certificate can fly loggable time in the left seat of a DC-3. Through a group called Incredible Adventures, when the opportunity presented itself to us at Lakeland, Florida during the Sun and Fun Air Show, we took it. The DC-3 adventure involves 1 or 2 hours of instruction with the student, you, in the left seat. You take off, fly, and land the airplane, but take comfort in the fact that the right seat is occupied by an instructor. The key to the equation is Dan Gryder. Dan owns and operates Gryder Networks LLC at Griffin Spalding Airport near Atlanta, where they do training and type ratings on DC-3s. He and his gracious crew took us on. Gryder's 25 years experience as an instructor, ATP, and pilot for a major airline became obvious as he started our briefing.
It's a 2-man airplane. Even though it's very large, 25,000 pounds and 100-foot wingspan, it's going to fly just like a Piper Aztec. When we lift off at 84 knots, we're going to climb out at 120. So you guys will go down at 84. I'll save you V2 and I'll show you a V2 in front of you, which is 84. We use V1, VR, and V2 for the same speed, 84. At 84, it'll be a very smooth rotation. And also you take
repetition is a good method, and in the early morning, 84 knots was beginning to sound important. But so was something else.
And you'll be flying the whole thing. You're flying the airplane. The point is you're flying. Guess who's flying the airplane? You.
We thought Russ was starting to get the idea, and we'd find out soon enough. Gryder trained the FAA's pilots for the DC-3 the agency flies to air shows. He loves instructing in that airplane, and it shows. But for the best idea of what it was like to fly, we turned the audio over to AVweb contributing editor and today's DC-3 captain, Russ Niles.
How to describe flying the DC-3? I guess the best analogy I can come up with is it's like driving a boat through jello. You really have to anticipate your turns and that sort of thing, because the roll response especially is quite slow. At least I found it that way. Pitch and rudder seem fairly responsive, so you have to take all of that into consideration when you are trying to make coordinated turns and that sort of thing. Was it fun? It was fun for a newbie like me to get into the cockpit of something this big, but I couldn't help but thinking about those Swiss Air pilots. This plane originally was sold to Swiss Air in 1938, grinding through the Alps, 10, 12,000 feet, in the cold, trying to muscle this airplane through the wind currents of the mountains. It must have been quite a challenge for them. And any of you who've read books about the DC-3 will know that it's legendary for its leaks in the cockpit. We were enjoying a beautiful day in Central Florida, and there was a little bit of condensation in the morning, and I managed to get a few drops of water on the back of my neck from somewhere up in the headliner. So they leak even in the sunshine.
Cockpit weather aside, note here the position of the control yoke and relative reaction of the aircraft. As Russ positions the aircraft for landing, his jello reference becomes clear.
After a couple of low and overs for the early morning air show crowd, and I think for the guys in the tower, it was time for a landing, and I've never landed anything this big in my life. Dan made it easy. Approach straight down the middle, that's me steering, him running everything else. And then we're down, and you can see that we barely shook cameraman Scott Simmons as he was recording this historic event. Little skip on the landing, but actually I thought I acquitted myself and the AVweb crew very well on the landing, and thanks to Dan.
Special thanks to Dan Gryder and Incredible Adventures for bringing us this once-in-a-lifetime experience. Through the numbers on your screen, it could be yours too.